once again from Fox 5, City Hall scandal intensifies. New calls for Mayor Adams to resign. So we just saw a story also from Fox 5 about how they're going to put together a coalition and there's going to be reparations and we're going to tear down statues all over the place. Meanwhile, the mayor is being investigated and might step down. He probably won't. The past two governors hired the same Chinese spy. The Venezuelans are running roughshod over everyone. The regular criminals are still doing whatever it is they want to do. There's a laundry list of problems. There's not enough time in a day to talk about every single thing going wrong in New York. And I can't believe there's somebody who could possibly be worse than de Blasio, but here we are. And my name's Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It would help me a lot and cost you nothing. But if you wanted to help me even more and spend a tiny bit of money, you would buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued, on Amazon.com. That link will be in the description.
New calls for Mayor Adams to resign. This as several of his top aides are caught up in federal investigations.
All right, Fox 5's Morgan Mackay was at City Hall this morning to ask some tough questions and joins us now with what you found out. Morgan.
Steve, Natasha, 3 lawmakers are now calling on Mayor Eric Adams to step down, but he says that's not going to happen, even as his top legal advisor resigned over the weekend.
That's very similar, once again, to Oakland, when the FBI started looking around the houses or whatever of Oakland Mayor Shang Tao, and then her lawyer quit. She says, I'm not going anywhere. And that's how these people are. And why would they, right? I mean, they have been gifted everything. Look, you can see, looks like a Black Lives Matter poster behind her. So how do you think this is going to go?
Has to resign.
City Councilwoman Tiffany Caban is now the first city council member to call on Mayor Eric Adams to resign.
Okay, Tiffany Caban, I don't know too much about her, but I mean, she is a New York official, so she's probably completely awful. And the thing here is, maybe Eric Adams isn't quite as bad as de Blasio. Perhaps that's why they want him to leave, because they're not going to get rid of him and then install a normal, common sense mayor. They're going to go even further to the left. I mean, you got people who are already angry with the mayor because he hasn't given enough to the migrants.
Stop evicting children!
A Wednesday morning rally in Washington Heights, across the street from an elementary school, a day before the first day of classes.
Trust me, as nice as a wind shelter is, it is not the place you want to live with your children.
Migrant advocates, supportive elected officials, and nonprofit providers, including Women in Need CEO Christine Quinn, all calling on Mayor Eric Adams to end the controversial policy of limiting migrant families to 60 days of shelter before they are forced to go back through the application process.
I mean, this is absolutely wild. So they want to get rid of him so they can install somebody even further left who will destroy what is left of New York City and quite possibly the entire country.
Following numerous federal investigations, the mayor has not been charged in connection with any of these federal inquiries, but Caban says that it has been a pattern of mismanagement.
And they love to say that, right? Well, we have to make sure that that there's no charges and there's no wrongdoing. We're just going to keep going with these investigations. Meanwhile, when Donald Trump farts in an elevator, that's going to make national news, and he should be sent to Rikers Island for that.
Not just that more than 15 of his associates are being investigated, but it's also, a culmination of his other failures of leadership.
There are believed to be at least 4 federal investigations targeting the mayor and his top aides.
And for the record, that Tiffany Caban lady, do you think for one split second that her hands are clean? If there is an investigation, if there's a real life investigation into any of these people, I can almost be certain there would be loads and loads of complete and total corruption. Right? And this goes back years. This isn't brand new. Eric Adams isn't the first person. Like I literally didn't think it could get any worse than de Blasio. And now you have Tiffany Caban saying that. I don't know what to make of that, right? Because I don't know too much about her, but I think she's basically just a weirdo socialist. So if she wants to get rid of you, I also want to get rid of you. So we agree on that, but I'm pretty sure we would completely disagree on why he's no good.
This includes the investigation that prompted the former NYPD Police Commissioner Edward Caban to resign last week. Federal investigators are reportedly looking into whether Caban's twin brother sold police protection to nightlife businesses. Several NYPD executives have also been caught up in that investigation and had to turn over their...
And there you have it, right? You see the rainbow flags, the transformer flag on City Hall in the country's most populous, densest city. They've been conquered, right? If they've been conquered, then it stands to reason that the rest of the country has too been conquered.
Phones to the FBI. Additionally, federal prosecutors are also reportedly investigating 2 deputy mayors, a top Adams aide, the school's chancellor, and Adams' campaign for other alleged corruption violations. In a stunning move over the weekend, Adams' chief legal advisor, Lisa Zornberg, also abruptly quit. And in her very short letter to the mayor, she said, quote, "I have concluded that I can no longer effectively serve in my position." According to numerous outlets, Zornberg quit over frustration that the mayor would not fire some of his aides that are caught up in these federal investigations.
She has been a great advisor. There are many things she advised us on, and we moved on. But I'm not going to go into the private.
Oh yeah, dark chocolate. I'm never going to resign. And again, he probably shouldn't resign because they're only gonna put in someone worse. And for the record, I will never let him live down the fireworks fiasco of 2020. If you're unfamiliar, please go ahead and look that up. When he was Brooklyn Borough president, when I lived there.
2 state lawmakers are also calling on Adams to resign. State Senator Julia Salazar and State Assemblywoman Emily Gallagher.
Eric Adams is failing.
Okay. Now, there does seem to be a little bit of a common theme here. Julia Salazar and that other Tiffany lady with the BLM poster behind her. And I don't know. It looks like some sort of a climate change poster behind her. So I can't agree with them at all. And I only assume that they don't like Eric Adams because he hasn't gone crazy enough. I mean, think about that, right? You have all these protesters saying, well, you should let the illegal criminal migrants stay here indefinitely and put them up in housing, right? That happened. Like there's a same thing in San Francisco. Oh yeah, we want to sweep the tents and the poop and the needles off the street. And then people protest saying, no, you can't do that. You can't clean this place up. So I can't believe for one split second I'm actually defending Eric Adams, but perhaps he is not as bad as whatever these people are hoping to usher in.
Failing at his job. His administration is rampant with serious scandal, and that's a sign of poor management.
If the mayor were to resign, which he has insisted he would not, public advocate Jumaane Williams would step in as temporary mayor. Williams says that is not something he is focused on, but called the growing number of investigations around Adams exhausting.
I don't think any of us in our lifetime or our parents' lifetime has seen anything like this. It's shocking. It's stunning. And I don't think we're getting the appropriate response for how heavy this actually is.
Okay, this is crazy, right? Jumaane Williams, these people are absolutely insane. They're not saying this man has gone too far and he's driven us into absolute chaos and letting criminal illegals take over and we need to get a common sense Rudy Giuliani type in there. They're saying we need to go even further left because he hasn't done enough for the criminals. Because those people calling for him to step down are absolutely delusional. And for the record, I obviously can't stand Eric Adams, but it almost makes me like him a little bit more knowing that those wild radicals want him to step down.
And the nonprofit news outlet The City is also just now reporting that a high-level NYPD official whose phone was confiscated by the FBI in a federal corruption probe is also now leaving the force.
Yeah, interesting. Just sort of ratchets up a little bit. Yeah, so talk to us exactly how much pressure do you think the mayor is under to resign? And is that just expected to grow in the coming days and weeks?
The New York Times had an article over the weekend that said it's been since 1932 since the mayor has seen 3 police commissioners, and the mayor at that time, Mayor Walker, resigned due to corruption. So this is a stunning development, and to Jumaane Williams' point, some council members and state lawmakers feel like Adams just isn't taking it as seriously as he should be. Now, the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams today even said in his press conference when he was asked, what do you tell New Yorkers. There's just so much going on right now, so many different investigations. And he said he couldn't comment too much right now, but he said that if anybody else knows of any corruption or is involved in any sort of corruption, they need to come forward now.
Wow.
Get your deal while you can. Wow, fascinating stuff. All right, thanks, Morgan.
Okay, this is absolutely wild. This is a corruption race to the bottom at its very best, because I cannot stand Eric Adams, but the people pushing the hardest to get rid of him are even worse than he is. And here from Forbes Breaking News, we have New York City Mayor Eric Adams himself responding to the question, would you consider resigning if you're accused of wrongdoing?
Hi, Mayor.
How are you?
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
My understanding
Yeah, he's feeling better because he came down with Rona at just the right time.
is that at least one member of the city council is going to call for your resignation and that others might soon follow. I know you said you haven't been accused of any wrongdoing, but if you are, would you consider resigning?
Well, let's be clear. I don't think any of those.
Let's be clear. We know whenever a politician says, let's be clear, word salad is coming your way.
Well, let's first be clear.
Those members put me in office. The 700,000 or whatever number of thousand, they voted me in office. And, you know, those who, anytime anything happens in this city, calls for me to leave, are we supposed to listen to them now? They call for me to leave over and over and over again. But these numbers are showing that I'm working on behalf of New Yorkers. The goal for me, I was elected by the people of this city, and I'm going to fulfill my obligation to the people of this city so I can continue to do the great things that I'm doing. And so if I'm going to listen to those members, whomever they may be, that have critiqued this administration from the beginning, so why would they do anything different now?
Okay. Well, it seems like you want to talk about the city council members, and it might be a little bit more animosity here than, you know, we initially are led to believe, because clearly he's talking about the city council members and they are even more radical than he is. And he wants to say, well, I was elected by the, 700,000 people or whatever. I mean, maybe, were you? Isn't that what part of the investigation into you is looking like? And I mean, there is no reasonable answer to this, because Eric Adams is terrible and the people calling for him to be removed are also terrible. And what they should have done is just elected Curtis Sliwa.
Curtis, give the leadership one indication. What do they need to do?
Let the cops go out and do their jobs. They keep acting like, we can't let cops deal with the emotionally disturbed. They always did. They did a good job. Now all of a sudden you say you need mental health care experts. Where are they, Martha? I never see them in the streets or subways or parks. Let the cops be cops, and they can get us back where we need to be.